You have tried changing yourself a lot of times on your habits, mindset, belief system, lifestyle, but what is the reason that even when we try real hard to bring that change in ourselves, in most of the cases we fail to bring that long-lasting change? My dear friends, my name is Saunak Bhatta and I want to welcome you in this conversation of wisdom. And in this episode, we are going to talk about the 5 reasons why we don't change. The reason number 1 why we do not change. When we are talking about changing our mindset, habits, lifestyle, we are talking about sacrificing something. What kind of sacrifice? We are talking about sacrificing the comfort that we are receiving on the present. And when it is about sacrificing something, you got to be sure that the thing that you are sacrificing your comfort for needs to be more appealing than the sacrifice that you're willing to make. But the problem is, the reason why we don't change is a lot of times the reason why we wish to change is less charming than the comfort that we are getting on the present. Think about it. Why don't we wake up in the morning? I mean, a lot of people do, but a lot of people do not do. Why? I'm well aware that if I wake up 3 hours earlier, I'm going to have more time, and if I can use that time, I'm going to be able to create a bright future. But I'm not going to choose to wake up when the comfort that I'm receiving in the present is more charming than the bright future that I can achieve when I wake up 3 hours earlier every single day. So the bottom line is, the reason we do not change is when the charm of the future is less charming than the comfort that we are receiving in the present. The reason number 2 why you don't change, because you've got a lot of things to do on that particular day. You cannot really work on one habit for like 21 days or 30 days so that finally that habit can change your life, or finally that habit can be part of your autopilot system. You've got a lot of things to do. And it is because of the same lacking consistency that we fail to bring change in our life. Think about it. When it is about changing our belief system or mindset or perspective, it can happen in like 1 second. You receive one new information and the way you see the world, it changes in no time. But when it is about changing our skill, our habit, or bringing out new lifestyle in our life, it might not be possible simply by working for like 1 day. It requires you to work on it consistently over a period of time. For some people, you might have to work for like 7 days. For some others, you might have to work for like 30 days or 40 days. And for you to work on that one bullshit habit consistently, it requires huge dose of energy on a consistent basis. It requires high dose of motivation on a consistent basis. And having that motivation every single day, it might be a tough work. So the reason why you don't change is because you lack that consistent energy, consistent motivation over a period of time that can bring that skill set in you, that can bring that habit in an autopilot mode in your own life. So either you got to have that consistent motivation, or you got to be able to create an environment that pushes you every single day no matter how sick you are. And it is because of this same lacking consistency because of which we fail to bring that consistent result in our own life. The reason number 3 why you don't change. Think about it this way. All of a sudden, you're inspired to bring that change in your life, that new skill set, that new habit. You're pumped up. You go to your home and you start working on it. Bingo, you're doing well. The second day you start working on it. Bingo, you're doing well. But once again, you cannot continue it. Once again, you feel that lack of desire. What's happening? Yes, you got pumped up. Yes, you had this transformed state of life. You were working differently. You were living your life differently. But the problem that's happening is, yes, you got changed, but the environment on which you are staying is still the same. And when you are in the same environment, when you have the same things around you, when you are with the same people, you're using the same messenger and having conversation with the same people, same kind of conversation, when everything around you is the same and it is only you who is willing to change, change is still possible, but it happens to be extremely difficult, so difficult that a lot of times we fail. So the reason why you fail to change, the reason why you don't change is because you are willing to change, and even when you are willing to change, your environment is inspiring you to be the same. The trick is start bringing some small changes on the things around you. Maybe you can install one new app. Maybe you can bring some change in your room, or the kind of change that can somehow support the desired habit or the desired skill set that you want to bring in yourself. When your environment resonates with your desired change, change happens more quickly. Change becomes more effective. But the problem is, yes, you may be willing to change, but you are willing to stay in the same environment and you are not willing to work on your environment, and therefore your environment is inspiring you to be the same, or let's say you fail to change. The reason number 4 why you don't change, because you feel like you are not losing enough. If you were to lose a lot of things without changing, you would find a way to change. When we've got a big risk in front of us, we find to change the way we are dealing with it. But the reason why you're not changing, you're not being able to change your habit, you're not being able to bring out some new skill set, you're not being able to change your lifestyle or a lot of things that you want to change. The reason why you're not being able to change is somehow you feel like you're not losing enough. Somehow you feel like if you don't change, you're not going to lose a lot of things. You may disagree with it and you may start saying that, no, I know that I'm going to lose this, lose that, but the point is you feel like you're not losing enough. If you were to lose a lot more than what you think you would be losing, you would find a way to change your game. Sometimes the pain that we get is not enough for us to be inspired to bring some change in ourselves. If you were to receive more pain, you'd find a way to bring that change in your life. Pain is good because pain can inspire us to bring change. But if you don't have enough of pain, you don't have enough of motivation to work on it. The reason number 5 why you don't change, yes, now you're inspired, you want to create a goal, you want to create your dream, you create a strategy, and also you do one more thing, you create a deadline. And now feels like you're going to do it and you're going to make it happen and you're going to have that transformed you and you're going to be able to complete a lot of work and do a lot of things and be a new you. But once again, you fail to change, and the reason is because there is no reason for you to stick on that deadline. Yes, you've got a deadline, but why would you stick on that deadline? If somebody else had given that deadline to you, you would find a way to stick on it because you would have this fear and you would have this desire and you would somehow have this big fear of losing, and you would be on that boundary because of which you would find a way to complete it by the deadline. But when you create your own deadline, you fail to meet it. And the reason is because why would you meet that deadline? What is the loss that you're going to have? The reason why you're not going to change is because there is no reason for you to meet that deadline that you have yourself given to yourself. But if you find a way to create an incentive that you're going to lose if you do not meet that deadline, if you can create a sense of loss and attach it with the deadline that you have created for yourself, you can somehow get inspired to work on it effectively. You will meet the deadline when not meeting the deadline can bring some consequences to your mindset. Our mind, my dear friends, it is amazing and at the same time it is extremely poor. It is vulnerable and it is extremely potential. We have to understand both of these gateways for us to be able to realize, understand and use our mind effectively. So if you want to create some long-lasting change in yourself, good. Go out there, create a deadline. But make sure you create consequences that you're going to bear if you do not meet those deadlines. And finally, if you do it, maybe someday you will be able to change. And yes, since now you know why you don't change, maybe you wish to change. And if you wish to change, there are a number of platforms that support the changing process of life. And one of the platforms is us. Join us.